Chosen one, hear me clearly right now. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. You did not find this video by scrolling aimlessly or killing time. Heaven scheduled this moment. God's hand guided you here with perfect precision because the winds of divine transfer are beginning to move in your life right now. The atmosphere surrounding your existence is shifting in ways you may not fully see yet, but deep in your spirit you already feel it. You are standing at the threshold of something holy, something that goes beyond human logic, beyond what any financial advisor could map out or any life coach could strategize. This is a billionaire shift, not born of greed, not rooted in selfish ambition, but anchored in purpose, provision, and divine destiny that was written for you before you ever took your first breath on this earth. Anointed one, this word comes to you as both a warning and a confirmation. The Spirit of God is saying pay attention right now because what is being released in this season will not only elevate your life, but will awaken everything and everyone connected to you. This is not about chasing wealth like the world chases it. This is about walking into the inheritance that was already written for you before the foundation of the world was even laid. Deuteronomy 8:18 declares it plainly and without apology. It is God who gives you the power to get wealth, not your hustle alone, not your network alone, not your education or your cleverness. God himself is the one who stirs that power, and right now that power is being activated within you. So open your heart and quiet your mind for a moment. Let the noise of the world fall away. You are being summoned into a higher realm, a place where faith becomes the currency you spend, and obedience becomes the key that unlocks overflow you cannot manufacture on your own. This is your divine appointment. Heaven's gates are open. The transfer has already begun, and by the time this message is finished, you will understand exactly what that means for your life. Chosen one, listen closely to what I am about to tell you. What is happening around you right now is not coincidence, not even a little bit. It is divine orchestration playing out in real time. The winds of heaven are shifting specifically in your favor, and your name has been written into this particular season of acceleration. I need you to really receive that, because some of you have been waiting so long you stopped believing your name was on heaven's list anymore. Before we step fully into today's message, I need to be completely straightforward with you. YouTube does not monetize this channel. The algorithm does not support uncompromising spiritual truth. This ministry survives entirely on the support of the believers who watch it. If these videos help you navigate your season, I am asking you to partner with me. There is a Ko-Fi link in the description for one-time donations to help sustain this channel. And if you are looking for a private community and deeper spiritual warfare guides, my Patreon link is down there as well. Thank you to everyone who keeps this truth funded. And for those of you who want something simple and practical, I also put together a guide called The Chosen One's Spiritual Warfare Handbook. It is a full 30-day system that walks you through how to deal with what you are facing step by step. It is usually $47, but right now it is available for $17. Everything is in the description. The links are direct and safe to use. Take your time with it. You do not have to rush anything. You already know what you need. Every tear you cried in private, every silent prayer you whispered at midnight when you thought nobody heard, every long and lonely season when you wondered if God still remembered your face, all of it was preparation. Every single bit of it. You were not being punished during those hard years. You were being positioned. There is a massive difference between the two, and heaven knows exactly which one was happening in your life. Heaven has been preparing a transfer not just of money, but of purpose, authority, and influence. This billionaire shift is not about luxury. It is about legacy, what you leave behind when you are gone, what continues to speak after your voice has gone silent. Anointed one, the fire you walked through was not sent to break you. It was sent to build you into someone strong enough to carry what is coming. The rejection you experienced refined your discernment so you would know who belongs in your next chapter and who does not. The loss you suffered deepened your faith in ways prosperity never could have. The delays trained your patience until it became the kind of unshakable patience that heaven can actually work with. You asked God why it was taking so long. You begged him for an explanation. but he was quietly and carefully shaping you into someone who could handle what is about to overflow into your life without being destroyed by it. The same God who watched you sow in tears is now commanding you to reap in joy. The drought is over. The atmosphere around your life is thick with favor right now, and deep in your spirit, if you are honest with yourself, you can already sense it. Something holy is unfolding. This is the moment where faith stops being a concept you talk about and starts becoming a manifestation you can touch and see and walk through. Heaven has aligned resources, divine partnerships, and opportunities that are perfectly on schedule for your life. Doors that refuse to open no matter how hard you pushed will now swing wide open. Not because you pushed harder this time, but because you waited longer and learned something that most people never learn. You learn the difference between striving and aligning, between forcing your will and flowing with God's, between running ahead of the promise and walking in step with the promise giver. Your patience became prophecy, and now the reward that prophecy promised is being released. I have stood in that place myself, the place where everything seemed lost, where the numbers did not add up, where the relationships had fallen apart, where the future looked like a blank wall with no doors in it. And yet heaven whispered in that quiet place, "Hold on, just hold on." And then suddenly, not gradually, not slowly, but suddenly everything changed. One conversation changed the trajectory. One open door rewrote the story. One moment of divine timing shifted my entire life in a direction I could not have engineered on my own. That same kind of sudden breakthrough is positioning itself to find you, chosen one. God is about to make it so undeniably obvious that His hand is on your life that you will not be able to explain it away or chalk it up to luck. This is not just about finances, and I need you to hear that clearly. It is about fulfillment. It is about waking up every morning knowing that your life has weight and meaning and eternal purpose. You are stepping into generational wealth, yes, but also generational wisdom, generational peace, generational purpose, and an impact that will ripple through time long after you are gone from this earth. You will not just receive abundance, you will radiate it. Wherever you walk, wherever you go, people will feel the overflow of your obedience to God in your life. But hear this warning that is wrapped in grace. Pay very close attention to what heaven is sending you right now. Instructions are coming disguised as ideas that drop into your mind in the shower, as opportunities that knock at unexpected hours, as gentle whispers in the night that nudge you in a direction you did not plan to go. Follow them. What looks small may carry the biggest breakthrough of your life. The shift is not coming someday in the distant future. It is already in motion right now. You have entered the realm of divine flow. Blessings are not waiting for you at the finish line. They are chasing you down the road. God is saying enough delay, enough doubt, enough waiting in the shadows when the stage has already been prepared. It is time. You are not waiting for your moment anymore. Your moment has been waiting for you. Pause for just a second and feel that. Feel that power rising inside your chest right now. That is not emotion. That is heaven's confirmation speaking to your spirit. The angels have already gone before you. The doors are already swinging open. Your season of acceleration has officially begun. The same God who turned Joseph's pit into a palace, who took a man thrown away by his own brothers and seated him at the right hand of power, is doing it again. And this time He is doing it through you. When people ask how it happened, when they look at your life and cannot explain the transformation they are witnessing, your answer will be simple. God did it. Just God. Chosen one, the stillness you have been walking through has never been emptiness, no matter how much it felt that way. It has been holy preparation. Heaven has been aligning every single detail of your life, moving quietly and methodically behind the curtain while you remained faithful in the waiting. What looked like silence to you was actually strategy being executed at the highest level. You thought God was withholding blessings from you, but what He was actually doing was building your capacity to carry them without collapsing under the weight. Every delay was a divine setup. Every detour was redirection towards something better than what you were originally aiming for. Every disappointment cleared a path to something that was actually worthy of you. You have been asking why it took so long, but Anointed One, time was never wasted in God's economy. Not a single day of it. He was training you for endurance, teaching you to walk by faith instead of by sight, teaching you to move when heaven says move, even when your eyes cannot see the next 10 steps clearly. The seasons of lack shaped your discernment in ways that seasons of plenty never could. The nights you cried yourself to sleep purified your motives until what you wanted aligned with what God wanted for you. The loneliness anchored your dependence on Him alone because He needed to know before He promoted you publicly that you had learned to depend on Him privately. You were not abandoned during those seasons. You were being refined into someone who could now carry abundance without losing the humility that makes you trustworthy in heaven's eyes. I know that feeling deeply. I have lived through those seasons when absolutely nothing seemed to move. I remember praying and fasting and believing with everything I had, and yet doors stayed shut. I remember thinking God had forgotten where I lived, but now from the other side of that season, I understand completely what He was doing. He was not punishing me. He was positioning me. He was protecting my promise from premature exposure. Because what comes before you are ready for it often collapses around you. God let me grow deep roots in secret so I could rise strong in the public light without being knocked over when the wind picked up. He has done the exact same thing with you, chosen one. That hidden season was never designed to break you. It was designed to build spiritual authority in you that cannot be faked and cannot be bought. You learned to pray when no one was watching and no one was applauding. You learned to stand when everything around you fell apart and there was nothing left to hold onto but God. You learned to trust Him not because it was the easy choice, but because it was the only choice you had left. And that is precisely why this next level belongs to you, because you earned it in the Spirit long before you will ever see it in the natural world. The billionaire shift you are stepping into is not about chance or luck or being in the right place at the right time by accident. It is about legacy. God is raising up financial leaders, kingdom builders, and spiritual investors in this generation. People who understand that money is a tool for mission and not just a trophy for achievement. And you are one of them. You have already proven that your heart can handle heaven's wealth because you demonstrated faithfulness when you had almost nothing. You showed God that obedience means more to you than applause, that integrity matters to you even when no one is checking. That is why God can now trust you with abundance that carries generational impact. Anointed one, pay close attention to the signs that are surrounding your life right now. The divine nudges in your spirit that keep pointing in a certain direction. The dreams that keep repeating themselves night after night. The sudden opportunities that show up wrapped in peace rather than pressure. These are not coincidences, they are coordinates. Heaven is pointing you toward your destiny through them. Do not dismiss the small doors. Some of the greatest moves of God in human history began in the smallest, most unremarkable rooms. A stable in Bethlehem, a burning bush in the desert, a teenager with 5 smooth stones. God has a history of launching world-changing moments from what looks like nothing. And when things start shifting fast, because they will shift fast, stay grounded. Remember who opened the door. It is not your brilliance. It is not your timing. It is His grace that positioned you there. This billionaire shift is not something you achieve through your own effort. It is something you receive through alignment with heaven's purpose. God is rewarding years of faithfulness, years of trusting Him when there was no visible evidence that trusting Him was the rational choice. Heaven is only waiting for one word from you right now. Yes. Say yes to the unfamiliar path He is laying before you. Say yes to the acceleration that does not look the way you planned it. Say yes to the life that has been calling you from somewhere deep within your spirit for longer than you can remember. The moment you align your faith fully with His plan, the atmosphere around your life will change. You will feel it. People around you will notice it. The silence has served its purpose. The pruning is complete. You are stepping into divine visibility. The world is about to see what heaven has known about you all along. The preparation is over. The alignment is done. The release has begun. Chosen one, heaven's alignment is complete, and the Spirit is declaring right now that it is time to rise. You have endured the refining fire. You have walked through the hidden seasons without losing your faith. You have stayed faithful when no one was watching and there was no reward in sight. You have been prepared in silence for a public release that is now beginning to unfold. The waiting is over. The manifestation is here. The question is no longer, when is it going to happen? The question is, will you walk in what is already yours with the authority that heaven has given you? Anointed one, you have outgrown the old identity that once fit your struggle. You cannot keep thinking small when God has already enlarged your territory in the Spirit. The version of you that doubted every good thing, that delayed every bold move, that hesitated at every open door because fear whispered you are not ready, that version has served its purpose, and its time is up. Heaven has already promoted you. Your spirit knows it even before your mind has fully caught up. You are not waiting for someone else to validate your calling anymore. You are walking in confirmation that comes from the inside out. God has been forging strength in your soul through every challenge you faced. Every loss built humility into you that prosperity alone could never manufacture. Every closed door sharpened your discernment until you could tell the difference between a divine opportunity and a beautiful trap. You have been prepared not just to receive wealth, but to manage it with wisdom and purpose and the kind of integrity that keeps the anointing flowing. This billionaire shift is not about money as a destination. It is about mission. It is about being chosen to carry resources, vision, and influence that will reach and impact generations you will never personally meet. I know what it feels like to sense a promotion in your spirit before you can see it in your circumstances. I remember when my environment began to shift around me in ways I did not fully understand at the time. Friends drifted away. Old interests that used to consume my time suddenly felt hollow and pointless. My hunger for something higher and something deeper grew until it was almost unbearable. That is when God whispered something I will never forget. He said, "I am not changing your surroundings. I am changing your assignment." That was the moment my spirit fully awakened to what God had been planning all along. I believe with everything in me that this is that moment for you right now, chosen one. It is time to rise into divine confidence. You are not built for survival mode anymore, even though survival mode kept you alive through the hard seasons. You are built for strategy now, for vision, for execution at a kingdom level. Speak from victory and not from fear. Think like a ruler and not a beggar. Your ideas are not random thoughts that drift through your mind by accident. They are blueprints from heaven waiting for your obedience to bring them into physical reality. Write them down, plan them out, act on them with faith. What you create and build in this season will outlive you by generations. Do not let fear disguise itself as wisdom. Do not let the enemy convince you that shrinking back is the spiritually humble thing to do. You can be both gentle and powerful at the same time. You can be both deeply grateful and boldly ambitious without contradiction. The same God who planted this dream in your spirit has already arranged the provision needed to fulfill it. And here is a truth that heaven wants you to anchor yourself to right now. Provision always follows purpose, always, every single time. Anointed one, the realm around you has shifted. The words you speak now carry divine weight in ways they did not carry before this season. When you declare abundance, the atmosphere begins to respond. When you decree healing over a situation, creation begins to align with that decree. Your voice is no longer just sound moving through air. It carries command. Heaven and earth are tuned to your frequency right now. This is not fantasy or wishful thinking. This is fulfillment of what was promised to those who are called according to His purpose. You are the living proof that faith still works in this generation. The waiting was your preparation, and the breakthrough is your unveiling to the world. You have evolved, you have matured, you have awakened into the fullness of purpose. So rise, chosen one, walk into your billionaire shift with boldness. You are no longer asking for permission to occupy the space God has given you. You are walking in the authority that was granted to you before you were born. Now that you have stepped fully into your divine authority, it is time to understand how heaven actually brings its promises into physical reality, because some people receive a word like this, and they get excited for a moment, and then nothing changes. And the reason nothing changes is that they do not understand the mechanics of divine manifestation. Miracles do not just appear out of thin air randomly. They are born when faith, obedience, and divine order move together in alignment. When your thoughts, your words, and your actions line up with God's frequency, the natural world begins to respond to heaven's instruction. This billionaire shift does not begin in your bank account. It begins in your mind. The true wealth transfer happens first when your belief system expands to match heaven's vision for what your life is supposed to look like. As long as you see yourself as someone limited by your past, by your zip code, by your family history, by your mistakes, you will unconsciously block the unlimited from entering your life. That is why God has been stretching you through every uncomfortable season, pruning you, removing distractions, and people who no longer fit the person you are becoming. It is not punishment. It is the preparation of a vessel being made ready to hold something greater than what it held before. I have felt that friction myself, the deep discomfort of growing beyond what once felt safe and familiar. I used to think that dreaming small dreams was the humble thing to do before God. I thought big vision was somehow arrogant, but I was completely wrong about that. True humility is not thinking less of yourself than you actually are. True humility is agreeing with how God already sees you and having the courage to walk in that agreement. When I finally stopped doubting my worth and started believing that I was actually chosen for something real, everything in my life began to accelerate. That same shift in perspective is happening for you right now as you receive this word. Chosen one, your words are actively shaping your world, whether you are intentional about it or not. Heaven is always listening when you speak, so speak from victory and not from fear. Declare abundance over your life and not limitation. Decree healing over your family and not sickness. The shift in your life responds to the sound you release, and your voice carries the frequency of creation because you were made in the image of a God who spoke worlds into existence. The enemy's real strategy has never been to physically destroy you. His real plan was to mute you, to get you to shrink back, stay quiet, stay small, and never speak the decrees that heaven authorized you to make over your life and the lives of those connected to you. But that silence ends right now. From this moment forward, speak with the authority of someone who knows their position. You are not pleading for blessings like a beggar at a gate. You are walking in what heaven already decreed over your life before the world began. Heaven is not looking for perfection from you. It is looking for faithfulness. And God saw you. He saw you give when it hurt your budget to give. He saw you believe when believing made no logical sense. He saw you stay kind when people mocked you and treated you as if you were nothing. None of that was wasted. Not a single moment of it. Every act of quiet obedience when no one was watching was a deposit in heaven's ledger. And now the withdrawal season has come for you. Anointed one. Pay attention to the divine synchronicities that are beginning to show up around you. The right phone call coming at the perfect moment. The doors opening that no amount of logic can fully explain. The connections forming that you could not have engineered on your own, no matter how strategic you tried to be. These are heaven's fingerprints on your life, confirming your alignment with destiny. Do not question them. Do not talk yourself out of them. Flow with them. You have entered the era of divine ease, where manifestation feels increasingly natural, because you have become one with the flow of heaven's purpose for your life. Chosen one, understand this truth that I want you to carry with you. Nothing happening in your life right now is coincidence. Every detail, every shift, every delay, every divine appointment that seemed to come out of nowhere has been part of an orchestration so precise that human intelligence could not have designed it. Heaven has been quietly arranging every piece behind the scenes while you remained faithful, obedient, and steadfast in your faith. What you are stepping into now is not random favor falling on a lucky person. It is divine order manifesting in real time through a prepared vessel. This billionaire shift does not begin with money, and it does not end with money. It begins with mindset, and it ends with legacy. God must enlarge your inner world before he can responsibly expand your outer one. You cannot carry overflow with a vessel that was shaped by scarcity thinking. You cannot steward generational wealth with a mind that still operates from a survival mentality. That is why every uncomfortable season of growth was absolutely necessary. Every time God pruned your circle, it was painful but purposeful. Every time he shook your comfort zone, it felt like crisis, but it was preparation. Every closed door was redirection towards something greater, and every loss was making room for a gain that was too big to fit in the same space as what you lost. Acceleration is coming to your life, and I want you to know what it is going to feel like when it arrives. Opportunities will begin to multiply in ways that surprise you. People who once overlooked you will begin to remember your name. Projects and ideas that once felt impossible and out of reach will begin to flow with an ease that can only be explained as supernatural. When divine momentum hits your life, it literally changes the laws of effort. What used to require enormous amounts of striving will now require faith and alignment. You have graduated from survival mode into supernatural flow, and there is no going back to who you used to be. But hear me on this important point, chosen one. Acceleration exposes both opportunity and distraction at the same time. Not every open door that appears in this season of acceleration will be a door from God. Some of them will be detours designed to look like destiny. The way you will know the difference is peace. The doors that God opens will not require you to compromise who you are or what you believe. They will not demand that you trade your integrity for an opportunity. They will require you to trust Him, and that trust will always come with the peace that passes understanding. If it costs your peace, it is not your promise. Protect that discernment fiercely. God is expanding your capacity in this season, your ability to handle blessing without breaking under it, your ability to lead without losing your humanity. You will find yourself thinking with greater clarity, moving with greater boldness, praying with deeper authority than you have ever prayed before. Heaven is no longer testing your faith in the same way it tested you during the lean years. It is now trusting your maturity. You have been refined specifically for this moment, and as the blessings begin to multiply around you, remember the anchor that keeps everything in right perspective. Gratitude. Genuine, heartfelt gratitude to the God who never let you go even when you questioned whether He was still there. Gratitude keeps you balanced in seasons of overflow. The more you thank Him, the more heaven releases over your life. Every act of genuine generosity keeps the abundance multiplying and circulating through the kingdom economy. This acceleration you are walking into is not competition with anyone around you. It is completion of what heaven started in you before you were born. You are not racing against other people. You are stepping into what has always been exclusively and specifically yours. Chosen one, as this divine acceleration unfolds around you, there is a sacred truth I need you to hold onto with both hands. Your abundance is not coincidence, and it is absolutely not meant for you alone. God did not bring you through years of pruning, years of pain, years of refinement, just to fill your hands with things for yourself. He was expanding your capacity to carry His heart to a world that desperately needs to see what divine overflow looks like when it flows through a surrendered life. This billionaire shift is not about greed or luxury or self-glory, and you already know that in your spirit. It is about divine purpose. Heaven is positioning you as a vessel through which healing, hope, and transformation will flow to many people whose names you do not even know yet. You are being entrusted with heavenly resources to fulfill earthly assignments that are written in eternity. Anointed one. Divine wealth comes with divine weight, and you need to be ready for both sides of that truth. God is not blessing you because you demanded more or because you quoted the right scriptures or because you attended the right conferences. He is blessing you because you proved trustworthy with little when little was all you had. The overflow that is coming will test your heart more deeply than your skills have ever been tested. Will you stay humble when abundance surrounds you on every side? Will you stay generous when comfort whispers to you that it is time to close your hand and keep what you have worked so hard for? True kingdom stewardship means carrying power without pride. It means leading with compassion when your position would allow you to lead with control. It means serving even while you are standing in your own success. You have already demonstrated this kind of faithfulness when it cost you everything. You sowed seed when no one was watching you do it and no one was applauding. You stayed kind when you were misunderstood. You kept believing when there was no visible proof that your belief was justified. Heaven recorded every single one of those moments, and now the reward for all of it is being released over your life. What is coming is not random provision dropped from the sky. It is divine assignment. God is funding your purpose, not feeding your pride. There is a critical difference between those two things. I know personally what it feels like when blessing transforms into ministry. When my breakthrough came after all those years of preparation, I thought the miracle was the end of the story. I thought I had arrived. But then God revealed that the breakthrough was not the destination. It was only the beginning of what He had planned. The moment I began giving from my overflow, not from obligation, not from fear, not to impress anyone, but from pure gratitude, I experienced His presence in a way I had never felt before in my life. That is when I learned something that changed everything. Generosity multiplies anointing. When you give from a pure heart in this season that is coming, the oil will flow stronger, freer, and further than you have ever experienced. Chosen one, prepare yourself for your circle to change in this season, and do not panic when it does. God is aligning you with divine collaborators, people who carry discipline, vision, and integrity, people who are building for eternity and not just for the next quarter. Guard those relationships when they form, because they are heaven's reinforcements for the assignment on your life. But stay discerning too, because with greater influence comes greater testing, and the enemy will work harder to infiltrate your circle in this season than he ever did when you had less. Keep your altar sacred even when your table is overflowing. Keep your prayer life strong even when your schedule gets demanding. Keep your heart tender even when success threatens to make it hard. You are entering your commissioning as a kingdom financier, someone who funds vision, fuels faith, and multiplies impact across generations. There are ministries waiting for your yes. There are families waiting for your obedience. There are generations not yet born who are waiting for what your faithfulness will set in motion. Every seed you release in this season echoes through eternity. Chosen one, the real miracle of this shift is not merely what is being placed in your hands. It is what is awakening inside your spirit. You are not just entering a new season of external blessing. You are becoming the embodiment of transformation itself. Heaven is not only increasing your provision, it is reshaping your fundamental perception of who you truly are and why you are here. You are no longer the person begging for a breakthrough. You are the vessel through which breakthrough flows to others. Something divine is stirring within you right now, a deep knowing that this moment was always meant for you, a recognition that all the roads, even the wrong turns and the detours led here. Anointed one, this is where destiny and dominion collide inside of you. God has rewritten your inner language. The voice that used to whisper doubt and inadequacy and fear has gone quiet. The weight of insecurity that used to slow your every step has lifted. The fog of constantly comparing yourself to others has cleared. The desperate need to be understood and validated by people has dissolved. You now walk with a quiet authority that comes from the inside out because you finally understand in the deepest part of your being who sent you and why. You were chosen long before you were confident. You were appointed before you felt qualified. This new identity you are stepping into is not arrogance. It is alignment. Heaven's DNA is fully activating within you in this season. The frequency of your heart has changed. The energy that once attracted resistance and opposition now attracts revelation and divine connection. The same hands that once reached out in desperation now release power into situations that need transformation. You do not chase outcomes anymore. You command alignment with divine will. This is what it looks like when a human being operates in spiritual flow rather than human force. Chosen one, as this divine unfolding continues, I need you to understand something that is perhaps the most important truth in this entire message. It was never just about you. The miracles, the promotions, the billionaire shift taking shape around your life were never designed to stop at your doorstep. You are not the container of God's favor. You are the channel through which it flows to others. Heaven's blessings are meant to flow through you so that other people can witness what divine overflow looks like when it moves through a surrendered, obedient, pure-hearted life. You are being entrusted with heavenly resources to demonstrate how generosity, integrity, and purpose can rewrite entire family histories. How one person who says yes to God can change the trajectory of a lineage that was headed in the wrong direction. This is how eternal legacy begins, not through accumulation, but through surrendered stewardship, through the willingness to let what God pours in flow right back out to the people who need it most. Your life has become living evidence of what faith can build when it is sustained over time and what obedience can birth when it refuses to quit. Those who once questioned your calling and doubted your potential will soon see something they cannot argue with. They will see more than financial success. They will see peace that does not make sense given what you went through. They will see wisdom that could not have come from a classroom. They will see divine light radiating from the way you carry yourself. And they will know, without being told, that something happened to you that was not human in origin. True abundance is not about accumulation for its own sake. It is about transformation. It is measured by the number of lives that were changed because you said yes to purpose when it would have been so much easier to say no. Heaven is writing your name into the eternal scroll of legacy right now. Every prayer you ever prayed for someone else, every seed you planted in someone else's soil, every act of kindness that went completely unseen by human eyes. All of it has been recorded, and all of it is returning to you multiplied in this season. The wealth that is entering your life carries a specific assignment. It is not fleeting prosperity that comes and goes with market conditions. It is generational provision that will bless your lineage and ignite faith in countless lives connected to your story and your obedience. This is the real billionaire shift, the expansion of your soul alongside the expansion of your resources, the growth of your capacity to love and lead and serve alongside the growth of your influence and your financial territory. I have witnessed what happens when genuine humility meets divine favor in a human life. I have seen people who own very little in the natural world carry massive spiritual influence because they gave with pure hearts and served without hidden agendas. When giving flows from love instead of from ego or from a desire to impress, heaven breathes upon it and multiplies its reach in ways that defy human calculation. That is divine immortality, leaving echoes of goodness that outlive your name and continue speaking long after you are gone. Chosen one, heaven now trusts you with influence, not for applause or recognition or the praise of people, but for impact, for the kind of impact that changes lives at the root level. Your presence in a room will bring calm to chaos, and people will not always know why they feel more settled when you are around. Your words will bring faith to people who are afraid and hope to hearts that have given up. You will not need to announce your power or your position. Peace will do that for you. Your life will speak louder than any title you could put on a business card. But remember that legacy is built in the daily choices that no one sees. Gratitude over greed in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Love over pride when someone offends you and you have every right to retaliate. Obedience over comfort when God asks you to do something that costs you something real. Every act of humility in private writes eternity into your story in ways that public performance never could. Anointed one, this billionaire shift is ultimately about divine alignment and not mere accumulation. You are the living blueprint that the world around you desperately needs to see, proof that purity and prosperity can live in the same life without contradiction, proof that you can be successful in the world's terms and still be surrendered to God's purposes. Others will be drawn to your example more powerfully than they will ever be drawn to your words. Your overflow will become their open door. Your story will become their permission to believe that God can do it for them too. Chosen one, stand tall in this moment. Heaven's narrative is manifesting through your life in real time. You are prophecy fulfilled. You are a tree of righteousness planted by streams of living water, positioned to prosper for God's glory and for the blessing of everyone in your shade. Walk in peace, give freely, carry the fire of divine purpose without apology. This is your legacy, to shine eternally, to lead with love, to let God's abundance flow through you and reach places and people you could never reach alone. Chosen one, this is your Kairos moment, the sacred intersection of heaven's perfect timing and your hard-won obedience finally meeting each other on the road. The billionaire shift is no longer a prophecy waiting somewhere in the distant future. It is a reality unfolding in this very moment, in this very breath you are taking right now. The angels have already been dispatched on your behalf. The resources have already been released into your lane. The pathways have already been cleared of every obstacle that was blocking them. You are standing in divine alignment right now, the exact place where destiny meets manifestation and faith meets its reward. Anointed one, walk in quiet confidence from this moment forward, knowing that the same hand that carried you through the darkest valley is now personally positioning you on the mountaintop that valley was always leading to. You passed the tests. You endured the refining fire. You stayed when everything in you wanted to quit. And now the overflow begins. Every seed you planted in tears across all those hard years is returning to you multiplied in joy. This is not the end of your story. This is the unveiling of everything heaven was preparing while you waited in faith. Lift your head, chosen one. Stand tall in your calling. Speak abundance over your life, not as a desperate wish, but as a bold and authoritative decree. What you speak from this day forward will shape the seasons ahead of you. Remain faithful to the God who never left your side. Stay pure in heart when success tempts you to compromise. Let gratitude be the constant language of your life in every season that comes. If this word landed in your spirit today and you felt heaven confirming what you heard, declare 777 in the comments right now as an act of aligning your faith with heaven's confirmation over your life. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, because somewhere right now there is a chosen one in your life who has been wading through their own hard season, and this word might be exactly what heaven scheduled for them today. Subscribe so that you do not miss what comes next, because the words being released in this season are not ordinary words. The doors are open, the oil is flowing, the shift is happening right now in your life and in the lives of everyone connected to you. Go forth, anointed one, walk boldly into what heaven already declared belongs to you. The evidence is coming, the manifestation is near, and heaven itself is with you every single step of the way.